Sithobile mthwakazi omuhle silamukela njalo kwesinye isiqephu sethu sezindaba kumsakazo we-Citizens Movement Radio namhla ngoLwesithathu zili-17 kuMabasa ngomnyaka ka-2025 olethulela indaba ngikhethiwe Chuma. Kwesihamba phambili namhlanje uMkhwananzi uphendula uJabulani Sibanda ngomsindo awenza ngodaba luka-2030 iSanganayi Hlanganani Expo ibe yimboza kusho ikomiti yedale lePhalamende ekhangela ngezokuvakasha. Umnangagwa lobudlelwano ngokwecansi lochivayo kusho ugeza. Nansi indaba zethu ngokugcweleyo. Usomlomo webandla eliphikisayo uPromise Mkhwananzi usewaphendula uChalimana webandla leZANU-PF koBulawayo uJabulani Sibanda ngenkulumo yakhe lapho abathi baza kufuqa ukuba uEmmerson Mnangagwa aqhubeke esihlalweni kuze kwedlule umnyaka ka-2028. uMkhwananzi uthi uSibanda indoda ehlabelela ukudla ngemva kokuba ephiwe imota kanye lemali ngumlingani kaMnangagwa uWicknell Chivayo. Uye wamxwayisa njalo ukuba ukuzama ukutshintsha isisekelo sombuso ngokufuqa udaba luka-2030 kuza kwaliwa iziwakawaka zezakhamizi.
Sibhizi sikhuluma nje sizama ukuhluzulula ukuthi kambe singanza cebo bani elokumisa lokuthulisa ke umnumzana onjengoJabulani Sibanda labanye bakhe abakhuluma izinto ezingelanhlonipho sesisekelo lombuso welizwe esingathi sikhiwa yi-constitution abenza ukuthi imithetho yeZimbabwe ideleleke, imithetho yeZimbabwe ingahlonipheki. Lokhu ke kuqakatheke kakhulu kithi ngoba sifuna ukuthi iZimbabwe libe lilizwe elihlonipha imithetho, libe lilizwe lihloniphe kakhulu isisekelo sombuso, i-constitution yelizwe. Lokhu kwenziwa nguJabulani Sibanda, labo Garwe labanye abatshiyeneyo esibezwa bekhuluma bekhankasela ukuthi uMnangagwa abuse adlulise labavunyelwe khona ngumthetho kufuze babanjwe bathuliswe.
Ikomiti yedale lePhalamende ekhangela ngezokuvakasha ithi umhlangano weSanganayi Hlanganani Tourism Expo bubanjelwe eMtare kuvike phelileyo ube yimboza. uChalimana walikomiti umhlonishwa uJohana Mamombe uthi idolobho laseMtare ebeliyilo elibambele liqhaza belingakulungelanga lokho. Kusenjalo abachothozayo bathi lumhlangano ubungenye indlela yokwenza imali labo abakhohlakeleyo abebandla leZANU-PF. Owayelwela inkululeko waziwa kakhulu ngokuchothoza uhulumende uComrade Blessed Geza useye wathi umongameli webandla leZANU-PF obusa ngodlakela uEmmerson Mnangagwa ulobudlelwano ngezecansi lomlingani wakhe abenza bonke inkohlakalo uWicknell Chivayo. Kunkulumo yakhe ayethule izolo ugeza uthi uMnangagwa ulobudlelwano ngokwecansi loChivayo lokhu okusolisayo ukuba kungaba ngokobuthakathi. Ake sizweni ugeza ekhuluma.
The day's most telling image was Emmerson arriving by presidential helicopter with Wicknell Chivayo by his side. Wicknell akatobata bafoni a Emmerson. This confirms what I was told some time ago. Wicknell and Emmerson are ritualists. Emmerson is too much into sangumas. That is why he married Auxilia, who was a sanguma's head, Makumbi. That is also why he keeps pushing for the exhumation of Mugabe's remains. Now Emmerson has been hooked up by Wicknell. The two are in a sexual relationship for ritual purposes. To be precise, Wicknell is now the first lady, more like his wife. Those who know Wicknell will confirm that he is a man of confused orientation. He has had irregular relationships in the past. He once had it with a former top government official, who I will not name. I will only say, may his soul rest in peace. The late British journalist Simon Mann, in his book, hinted at Wicknell swayed sexual choices. Mann served a jail term with Wicknell. In the book, Mann also confirmed that Wicknell wanted to give him a gun to hijack an Air Zimbabwe plane. And now, Emerson has been persuaded that being Wicknell's husband will keep him in power and make him richer. Wicknell gave ZANU-PF provincial chairpersons some Toyota Land Cruiser 300 series. Each car is valued at 190 United States dollars. He also gave them $100,000 each. This is in order to complete buying out part structures for the 2030 bid. Where is Wicknell getting all the money? That is the question in every Zimbabwean's mind. Now, here is the bombshell. For the past 2 months, Wicknell has been withdrawing $4 million from the Reserve Bank every week. This means, by now, he has siphoned over 24 million of your money in just 2 months. The money is sent to Emerson's private borrowing office in suitcases delivered by Wicknell himself. Now I ask, Mutuli Ngube, Kudakwashe Mnangagwa, George Guamatanga, and the Reserve Bank governor, can you explain to the nation why you are sending this man to Emerson through Dubai?
Esinye isiphathamandla sebandla eliphikisayo uComrade Gift Ostalos Siziba useke waveza ukuba izizalwane eziningi eZimbabwe zibhadala umthelo phezulu emhlabeni wonke jikelele kanti njalo ungqongqoshe wezemali uMthuli Ncube uyehluleka ukuba kuzwisisise ukuba kubhadalisa izakhamizi umthelo ephezulu kuza kwenza imali ingabhodi ngokweneleyo njalo izakhamizi zizakwehluleka ukuba zithenge izinto ezifuna kanye lokubhadalela lokho kudingakalayo. Exoxisana loNqobizitha Mlambo kuthethe athethe kuliviki uComrade Siziba uye wakhuthaza uMthuli ukuba avimbe ukudluliswa kwemali ngokomgunyathi kanye lenkohlakalo lokwehluleka ukubamba kuhle imali. Ake silaleleni ingxenye yengxoxo yabo.
Revolutionary salutations to the people of Zimbabwe. Comrade Ostalos, welcome back to the show. Thank you so much for joining us. We have seen the recent introduction of taxes, presumptive taxes by the Minister of Finance and Economic Development, taxing hairdressers, barbers, a lot of people, informal sector traders. What are your thoughts and views on these taxes? Are they just, do they speak to the values that we were talking about the developmental state that's equitable and that fights inequality?
No, thank you very much, Brother Mlamba. I think that Mthuli Ncube fails to understand one simple principle. No country in the world or in the underworld, no country has taxed itself out of poverty. We cannot resolve the problems in this country through taxation, which is why some of us are opposed to this neoliberal approach that seeks to siphon from our people. In fact, we are the second most highly taxed country in SADC region, the fourth highly taxed country in sub-Saharan Africa. So these statistics must show that we cannot continue overtaxing our people. Because when you tax people, it means that, number one, you are discouraging people from formalizing. You are discouraging innovation. You are discouraging expenditure. But you are also encouraging domestic borrowing. So Mthuli Ncube must understand that what Mthuli Ncube would have supposed to have done is to go in front of cameras and say the IMM tax must be scrapped.
Yes, yeah, 2% tax.
You cannot continue with the 2% tax because it's discouraging people to transact. It's making the cost of business very high.
Yeah.
Ironically, he's saying
he's doing
easy of doing business. But while this the major thing is still there. Why should we continue to pay tax on so the 2% tax must be scrapped out. Secondly, Mthuli Ncube must be dealing with clamping down on illicit outflow of our money. How much do we lose in illicit financial flows? Yeah. So this is the money that we must be raising. The majority of this money that Mthuli Ncube is raising is going to service our arrears.
Yeah.
So he's trying to please the Bretton Woods institution and the Paris Club.
Midterm says he has paid 170 million in 6 months.
You get the
token
point.
payments to service the debt.
And token payments, Brother Mlambo, are not yet payments. They are a
Just
sign of your willingness. you get
So that explains why he's taxing us more.
So he's taxing us more to show.
But what implications will it have on small businesses, on poverty, for instance?
It will mean that the economy will continue to informalize. People are going to shy away from formalization. No one's going to continue registering their company.
Yeah.
People are going to continue to trust their bricks and mortar. They're going to trust their pillows
and mattresses.
Brick and mortar beauties called the banks.
Yeah.
So our people are going to continue living their money. So once money is not in circulation, because people are not going to formalize, to formally put their money in the banks. Secondly, what we're going to see is increase on inequality gap. Because the rich are going to continue to be rich because they're the one with access to the auction system.
That's true.
They're the one who are going to access to foreign currency.
More of it.
You get the point. The ordinary people are going to suffer.
Yeah.
And thanks to Mtuli tax again. Thirdly, it means that the few people within the working force of this country are going to continue to suffer.
Yeah.
Aggregate demand is going to suffer.
And he won't collect more revenue because he's thinking of collecting more revenue through taxation. But you raise an important point.
Because people are not going
to avoid.
spend.
So this is going to cause more.
So
but already we're paying, someone said, we're paying over 15 taxes already.
Yes.
You're saying we're one of the most taxed people on the continent and in the region. Already 15 plus taxes that we are paying, and you add more presumptive taxes on top of that. So, in my view, whatever jobs that have been there, if informal like your hairdressers, barber shops, commuter omnibuses, even the cost of that presumptive tax is going to be passed to the consumer. So, as you correctly said, there's not going to be economic growth. Yet he predicts in the budget strategy paper, the Minister of Finance, that there will be 6% economic growth. But how will it grow when you are stifling, economic growth through massive and regressive taxes? So I don't know, where are we going in terms of our fight for a tax-just Zimbabwe, our fight for domestic resources? But someone will say, but it's a question of mobilizing resources domestically. Taxation is good. What would you say as a response to that? When you look at the exemptions that have been given to multinational corporations vis-a-vis the continual use of presumptive taxes?
Look, that's why people talk about taxing the rich. The reason why I raised an ideological question of inequality is because you can't give tax break to Great Dyke and overtax people for buying a plastic bag. Overtax people for having new hairstyle. You overtax me for buying pizza.
Overtax me for using a combi.
For way. You get the point. So it's a question of making sure that you collect tax from those that are earning. You get the point. Than taxing ordinary people. You must encourage expenditure from the people by reducing taxes. That is what we call tax justice. To be able to balance who is making more money. How to look at the guy, this guy who has been giving people cars across the country.
Zimra should do a
are they being taxed? How much are they paying in their tax? How much Zimra has got? Because all these cars are most likely getting without paying duty. So the question is about taxing the poor. But we are called to go and ululate and celebrate Mtuli Ncube. It's a relief. Why were we paying $500
for number plate?
So there's nothing.
There's no need to celebrate because already $50 for a number plate is too much.
It's too much.
It must be $5 or $1. Why should you pay?
Because you have to compare the standards in African country.
And look at the roads themselves where you are paying.
Why are we paying $153 for a passport?
Wow.
You get the point. So all these, I'm telling you, is punitive taxes to ordinary people, regressive taxes that ideologically, politically, intellectual, and as patriotic Zimbabweans we reject.
So we say we reject the presumptive taxes in total, and we continue to call for taxing the rich. We draw a red line to the millionaires, to Mbingas, and say these should pay more taxes for the purposes of developing our country. Thank you so much, Governor Salos. Thank you so much to the people of Zimbabwe. See you in the next episode. Aluta Gondio.
uKhongolose waseMelika usewethula umbiko wokuba kuza kukhishwa umthetho weZimbabwe Democracy Economic Recovery Act ZEDERA lo obusenqabela iZimbabwe ukuba ithole izikwelede ngaphandle kwelizwe selokhu kwaba ngomnyaka ka2001. Lokhu kwethulwe ngoBrian Mast kunkulumo yabo abayethulileyo. Ilizwe laseMelika liza kunikeza usekelo kulizwe laseZimbabwe ngendlela yokuboleka imali ku World Bank loba ukuthola usizo usizo lwemali ku-IMF ngesizathu sokuba iZimbabwe iza kubhadala abalimi abamhlophe abathathelwa amaplazi imali engange-3.5 billion enyangeni ezilishumi-2. Abahlaziyayo basamukele lesi sinqumo kodwa baye baxwayisa ukuba kuqashwe uhulumende weZimbabwe owaziwa ngokuphatha budedengu imali lezi ezibuya ngaphandle kwelizwe. Kanti njalo bathi kumele kube lendlela zokuqapha ukuba le imali iza kusiza izakhamizi makhaza. Imota ezimbili ziye zafahlazeka eHarare ngemva kokuba ziwelwe ikhonteyina ebidonswa ngenye yezimota emahlukaneni endlela kaRobert Mugabe kanye loGlen Ara Avenue bucwadlana lenkamba yamapholisa eseRhodes. Lokhu kwenzeke imizuzwana ngemva imota ezimbili zichayisene eFord Ranger kanye leToyota Ford lapho bezilinde usizo lwamapholisa. Imota enkulu le ibizama ukujikela kuGlenara Avenue yasikhwela phezulu komunye umgwaqo lapho ikhontena eyawela phezu kwalezi mota ezimbili ebezimile. Ngenhlanhla enkulu akulimalanga muntu. Ngokuphawula intukuthelo yabo eqondiswe kubandla leZANU-PF, izakhamizi eziningi seziye zaphawula ngokusweleka kwabayisithupha abangabalandeli bebandla leZANU-PF engozini yomgwaqo eyenzakale bevela ukuyagubha usuku lukaMunu Mutapa. Ngesintwini sase-Afrika kuyazila ukukhuluma kubi ngasabedlule emhlabeni, kodwa ezinye izakhamizi emakhasini okuxhumana bezikuthakazelela ukufa kwabalandeli bebandla leZANU-PF engozini yomgwaqo eyenzakale phakathi kwezishabane leShurugwi. Ibandla leZANU-PF aliselalo usekelo kuzakhamizi ngenxa yokubusa ngodlakela kwezepolitiki. Ikomishini ekhangela ngezokuqhushwa kokhetho eMalawi i-MEC iye yaqaphisisa ukhetho olwenziwe ngokuthula izolo lapho kujikelwe amavoti ngabantu abadlula 60 ekhulwini. Ukuvota kuqhubeke kuhle kakhulu ngaphandle kokuphambaniseka okube khona eBlantyre lapho bekusolelwa ukuba kubuye amaphepha okuvota abesebhaliwe. Kwezinye izindawo imiphumela yokhetho iveza ukuba uPeter Mutharika oleminyaka engama-85 uthungamela phambili kuLazarus Chakwera lo ongumongameli walelo lizwe. Inhlanganiso ekhangela ngezokuqhutshwa kokhetho kweMalawi kumele imemezele imiphumela yokhetho ensukwini eziyisishiyagalombili ezilandelayo. Abaqaphe ukhetho luqhubeka kuleyo ndawo yaseMalawi bathi izakhamizi zizinikele ukuba zilandele usisekelo sombuso kanti basebenze ngokuthula. Izolo kusishwa lo wayelwela inkululeko uBlessed Geza uye wasola kakhulu izigananda lezi athi zitshontsha incebo yelizwe ngenkohlakalo. Uye wakhuthaza izakhamizi zonke ngendawo zokuchiyana kanye lokwehlukana kwabo ngezepolitiki ndawonye lamabandla kanye lamaqula aphila emphakathini ukuba bamanyane ukuze kukhitshwe uhulumende lo othunganyelwa ngu-Emmerson Mnangagwa. Siye saxoxisana lezakhamizi ukuba zisinikeze eyabo imbono ngalolu daba.
Hello Zimbabwe, hello citizens, Tony Shava here. Well, concerning what Comrade Geza said, it's a welcome thing that he continues to expose the Ugandandas for what they are and what they're doing, but it won't help to keep on talking and there's no action, especially after these guys promised us that they're men of action and they were going to do something for Zimbabwe to change. We know that this is not something that can happen overnight. Rome was not built in a day, but what we don't like is a situation whereby promises are continuously made and deadlines are given, yet there is nothing that is coming up, nothing that is closer to what they are talking about. They even told us that they were working with the army in order to make sure that there is a smooth transition of power from the current government to something that was going to come, something new. Yet we haven't seen anything close to that, and we were even promised, we were even told that they were working with people like President Nelson Chamisa and other opposition figures, but we discovered that all of them, they distance themselves from that. So my main worry is when things are said and they are not done, when things are promised and not fulfilled, and when words are spoken, and then when we try to verify the very words that were spoken, you discover that some of them are half true or they are totally not true. So that becomes the worry. We are not worried about Munangagwa being in a relationship with Wigner. I mean, we have nothing to do with that. It's their relationship. But what we are worried about is the economy of Zimbabwe. What we are worried about is the population of Zimbabwe, how they are suffering, how we are scattered all over the world, seeking for greener pastures. Yet we have a country that is independent. We have a country that has been indigenized. But our indigenization is not helping us because of bad and poor policies that are being given by that are being made by the Zimbabwean government under the leadership of President Mnangagwa. We want a change in Zimbabwe. We want a change. We don't want to hear bedroom stories and all that nonsense that we hear disgruntled politicians telling us. We want the real things. We want to hear somebody who can tell us that things are going to change and action will begin to be seen. That's what we want. We don't want folk tales. That's not what we are looking for. So I would say the exposure of the Zimbabwean government by Geza, well, we welcome it because it's coming from someone who was from within them and whom I believe is still within them. So he has something to say. But they can't continue talking and talking. It's been a long time. We are tired of stories. We want the action to happen. We want something that is tangible to happen. We want a new great Zimbabwe. We want new leaders. That's what we need. Thank you, Zimbabwe.
Nothing new. There are no surprises, and there's nothing new about Comrade Bombshell addressing the nation over the issues to do with corruption. Because it is corruption, that's why today we don't know where is Itai Tamara. He was abducted, disappeared from there up to now, nowhere to be found because he's heavily spoke against corruption. This is the reason why some of our brothers, sisters were abducted, like of Ostalosi, like of Fazai Mahere, who were in prison for speaking against the regime's level of corruption and incompetence. So today it's not a surprise that some of the chaps who were actually corrupt during that time when our fellow comrades were abused in this country, when our fellow comrades were abducted, beaten thoroughly, battered all over, are the ones now who are opposing corruption. It only shows us how serious this corruption thing has gone, and it shows us that the enemy of the progress in this country is now divided. So we are fighting against a divided opponent. What does that mean? That implies all citizens to come together, like what Bombshell is saying. It's nothing. There's totally nothing new about what he's saying, but so long it's all about solidifying the entire fraternity of Zimbabweans. We actually commend there. But that Comrade Bombshell, during his time, he played his part in victimizing the people who spoke heavily against corruption. So it's not a surprise. It's not something that is new to us. We know from the beginning that he was one of them. From day one, he was one of the people who was actually corrupt to the core, if I may say. So now today he's coming to join the masses in condemning corruption. We appreciate that part of just condemning corruption at national level, not forgiving him up until he apologizes to the people. We refuse to align ourselves to that Bombshell because he owes us an apology. Number one, he have to admit what he did during his time. Number two, he have to be responsible for all the things that he did. Then apologize to the citizens of Zimbabwe. Then maybe from there, that's when we can start talking about Bombshell. In as much as his ego is not allowing him to apologize to the masses over his previous actions in the previous decades, we only appreciate what he's saying, not him. So we continue with the struggle, lucha continua, and corruption always be corruption. It doesn't matter that the person who's talking about corruption is one who is also another person who was also corrupt sometime back, but it's still corruption, and it stinks the progress and the growth of us as a people.
Yeah, I am 100% in support of what Geza is saying. Zimbabwe needs total transformation. Zimbabwe needs a fresh independence. We are not yet independent as long they are black capitalists within us. And the strategy they are using is very difficult to fight. Since they create problems, they create situations, and they come as if they have the solutions. So I think we need 10 more Gezas, not from ZANU-PF faction, but across all political parties, so that we fight this ZANU-PF regime. ED and his cronies must go, but how to execute the plan? I think it's a challenge, because Zimbabweans are used to poverty. Zimbabweans are used to propaganda. Zimbabweans seems are comfortable with a hard life. So I don't know how we can do it, but Geza is 100% correct. It's 100% correct. Zimbabwe needs new leaders. I'm 100% support of what he said. And we need serious frontline heroes who will sacrifice their lives for the better of the country. Not just social media politics, but action on the ground. Action on the ground matters most. So if Geza comes up with a draft plan, then I think everyone will stand up. But the problem is Zimbabweans are so divided that they think this thing is an PF thing, which is the wrong mentality. We have to fight these guys. We have to remove it before it's too late.
Ngesikhangele kwezemidlalo, iqembu labobaba lekhilikithi liye lanqoba njalo eNamibia ngama-wicket 5 ngokudlala kwesibili kwabo emidlalweni ye-T20 edlalelwe eQueen Sports Club izolo koBulawayo. Ukunqoba kwabo kusho ukuthi iZimbabwe isithungamela nge-2-0 emidlalweni le, kanti njalo umdlalo wokugcina ukhangelelwe ukuba udlalwe kusasa endaweni efananayo. Siyabahalalisela. Kumidlalo ye-UEFA Champions League edlalwe izolo kusihlwa, i-Arsenal iye yanqoba i-Atletico Bilbao 2-0 ngamagoli avele kulabo abangene umdlalo osuphakathi, uGabriel Martinelli kanye loLeandro Trossard. I-Tottenham yona iye yanqoba i-Villarreal 1-0, lokhu okunikeze umqeqeshi wabo ithuba lokuthi athole ukunqoba kwakuqala kule imidlalo. Nansi eminye imiphumela yemidlalo edlalwe izolo. Real Madrid 2, Marseille 1, Benfica 2, Karabakh 3, Juventus 4, Dortmund 4, PSV 1, Union Saint-Gilloise 3. Ukuziphetha lezi ndaba kumsakazo we-Citizens Movement Radio, nanze bethamba phambili. Umkhwananzi uphendula uJabulani Sibanda ngomsindo wakhe ka-2030. Umhlangano wesanganayi Hlanganani Expo ube yimboza, kusho ikomiti edalele ephalamende kwezokuvakasha. Umnankagwa lobudlelwano ngezecansi lo-Wicknell Chivayo, kusho ugeza. Siziphetha lapha lezi ndaba.